Hi, it's Megan and Helena from Emerge Mentoring. Today we're sharing part 2 of our best filming practices. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, we shared some tactical tips. You can go ahead and give that a watch. Today we're sharing more mindset and confidence tips when it comes to filming.
Yeah, and we have definitely acknowledged that there are pros and cons to recording and filming, and we want to go over some of those pros and cons, but what we have decided is that there are more pros to putting yourself on camera and being the face of your business than there are cons.
Yeah, so first off, we heard this quote somewhere, but it was about 20 seconds of courage. That's all it takes to get going. So all you need is those 20 seconds to set the camera up and press play and just go.
Yeah, so we all have a message and we all have ideas and we all have thoughts and we all have visions that we want to get out there, but we usually resist and we usually don't because of the huge anxiety that comes with putting yourself out there. And this is something we've been hearing a lot from our clients, is that 20 seconds, they say no rather than saying yes. And we want to get you into saying yes to get your message out there. So even for myself, for Meg, every time before we record, we get that same anxiety. We get that same sensation of being like, who's gonna be watching this? Who cares? Who's gonna see it? And then we find that 20 seconds of courage and we hit play.
Because what's most important is your message and your content and how that could be impacting your community. Like your message that day could really be changing someone's whole day or even like their whole life, depending on what you're saying. It could really just click something. And that's worth those 20 seconds of nerves. It's worth the 20 seconds of courage to serve your community.
Yeah, and that solution that you could be creating for them through something that you maybe just said, like a light bulb can go off for them. And also if you are putting out really positive content and sharing that type of stuff, it can really inspire someone else and change their entire perception for the day. So especially if you have some positive message that you want to put out into the world, you could really be shifting someone's day who might be really experiencing something negative.
Mm-hmm. And everyone has a business because we have a solution, whether it's a product or a service, and you, by pressing play on your video, are offering a solution to your people. And it's just a different way. Instead of them maybe coming into your store or by word of mouth, it's just a different way to communicate and offer your solution to your people. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get.
Yeah, and I think it's important to learn to exercise your voice. This makes you a better communicator overall, and who doesn't benefit from better communication skills of just being able to practice being clear and direct and forward and also thoughtful with what you're saying. Like those are generally good practices for life. And in being able to express yourself as a business owner, entrepreneur, whether it's your product, your service, or your message, you're going to get a really genuine, more authentic following and audience.
Yeah, you're just gaining their trust every time you go live. Just your people seeing the face of the business or the faces of the business, they start to trust you more. And then when it comes to investing in you or purchasing your product or service, they have so much trust because they feel like they know you or they know a side of you just from seeing your face and hearing your voice.
Yeah, and saying that, your message might not be for everyone. So this is maybe one of the cons of filming and that anxiety that you sort of get when you're like, who's going to be receiving my message? Sometimes we get a little bit more caught up with maybe who's not receiving it. And you just need to know that maybe your lessons and your teaching isn't going to be for everyone, but there also is a really important moment in there for growth for yourself to maybe receive those moments where someone didn't really they conflict with what your message is to approach them delicately and see if there's something about your language. We all have holes and gaps in our and how we speak. And often sometimes our terminology might be off. There's a really good opportunity for us to become more sensitive and more inclusive through those conversations.
Yeah. So one of the big things that I've found helpful when it comes to my own mindset is watching other industry leaders, watching their videos and noticing how they speak, their structure, their tone. I find it helpful also to acknowledge that sometimes they mess up and sometimes they stumble over their words, and sometimes they're also confronted with the way they said something, and so a community member will ask if they'll change that, and then they do going forward, and it's just a great moment to give yourself permission to mess up because that's where the growth comes from, and that the industry leaders are also doing that, so you're allowed.
Mm-hmm. And so saying that, this is sort of our part 2 on the mindset to gain the courage and confidence, to find that 20 seconds of courage, to get your voice, your message, your vision out there, remind yourself that you could be inspiring someone else. So we still have that homework assignment we're inviting all of you to do a 5-minute IGTV recording featuring your business and yourself.
And we want you to share what your favorite product or service is that you're offering right now. So something that's going to be something you feel confident talking about, something you know really well, and it gives you the opportunity, like we said, to share with your community and get to know them.
Yeah, so tag us and we will be happy to reshare it with our community, and thank you so much for watching.